Eagle programs are a big part of Pere Marquette State Park. People come from all over the whole United States to view our national bird. Believe it or not, this is the second largest wintering population of bald eagles in the lower 48 states. You can make this sound a little bit better because you can say this is the second best place in the entire world because, again, the bald eagle is truly an American bird. The eagles that we see here are primarily coming from northern Minnesota, Wisconsin, and Canada, and they follow the rivers down. As the waters get frozen in the north, it forces the eagles to come down into this area. What I kind of like to tell the folks, this is the eagles, Florida, so this is where they come in the wintertime. The eagle is our national bird. Benjamin Franklin wanted the turkey to become our national bird instead of the eagle, and actually for primarily three different reasons. Number one, you saw that eagle sitting in the tree a while ago, and did it just sit there and sit there and sit there, or did it ever fly? Well, Benjamin Franklin thought the eagle was a very lazy bird. In relevant terms, he truly is. He is also a scavenger. He will wait till something is dead, and he's liable to fly down there and feed on it. Believe it or not, this right here, the white-tailed deer, is an animal that eagles eat quite often. Now, they do not kill the deer, but a lot of times they're shot by a hunter or hit by a car, and for one reason or another, this animal has died, and you will find the eagles scavenging on the carcass of this dead animal. The other thing is, the eagle is actually a pirate. He's a thief. I think he will catch a fish, or a gull may catch a fish, and he will dive at this till he gives his food up. So anyway, Benjamin Franklin thought the turkey would have been a better national bird than the eagle, but for you and I's sake, I'm glad that the bald eagle became our national bird instead of the turkey. You know, we probably wouldn't be able to eat turkey comes Thanksgiving time. Most of the nesting is done in Canada, Wisconsin, and Minnesota, but there are nests in Illinois and Missouri. Believe it or not, whenever eagles mate, they mate for life, and they keep coming back to the same nest each year. They add a new layer of limbs and twigs until eventually this nest can become absolutely huge. The largest eagle's nest I've ever been told about came from Vermilion, Ohio. This particular nest was 20 feet up and down and over 10 feet across and weighed over 4,000 pounds. Absolutely huge. So anyway, they build these big nests called eyries, and then they lay eggs like you see right here. These eggs look an awful like a big chicken egg, like I said earlier, but whenever these eggs are laid, they're not necessarily laid together. One egg may be laid today, one maybe tomorrow, one maybe 2 or 3 days after this. For this reason, a lot of times the younger eaglet or eaglets do not have much of a chance of surviving. Whenever mother strips a fish, she doesn't necessarily know which one she is feeding. So if one's a couple days older, it's going to be the one that gets most of the food. But anyway, if the eagles choose to build a nest here and they are successful, this pair of eagles will stay year-round. The children, or the eaglets, will stay with the mom and dad for about the first 6 months, and at that time they will be kicked out of the nest, and then they'll stay around here until early March, and they'll fly back up north with the other eagles without their parents, so the parents will stay and raise another family at the nesting site. But one of the really wonders of nature is whenever the eagles are mature, 5 years old, when they get their white heads, they will come back to this area, not necessarily the exact spot, but at least the region, and build a nest and raise a family of their own. So that's why we are starting to see more and more nests in the Midwest. And you've probably heard up on Lake Springfield and Sangamon River up there, they're starting to see some nests in the area, and that's exactly why. Just some interesting things about the eagles. First of all, it's an absolutely beautiful, beautiful bird. And what I tell people is the female rules the roost when it comes to birds of prey. She's about a third larger than what the male is. A female eagle can weigh as much as 15 pounds and a male eagle as much as 8 to 9 pounds. So quite a size there between the male and the female. From the tip of the beak here to the tip of the tail is about 36 inches in length. They have a wingspan between 6½ to 7 feet. And their eyesight is something else that's unbelievable. First of all, they have two different types of visions. First of all, they have what we call monocular vision, which means they can take one eye and focus on you, and they can take the other eye and actually focus on me at the exact same time. Kind of like our mothers when we were growing up, they had this monocular type vision. Or they can take both eyes, like you and I, and actually focus on an object as well. They can see a fish as much as a half a mile away down in the water, can see a rabbit run across the ground as much as 2 miles away. So again, their eyesight is truly very, very good. If someone told you a bird is stooping, what do you think that means? It is a fancy name for a dive. And whenever eagles dive, they dive at speeds that exceed 100 miles per hour. So they dive or stoop. at very, very fast speeds. Eagles do not get their white heads until between 4.5 to 5 years old. Prior to that, they're brown in color. Thinking about the enemies of the eagle, this is the #1 enemy of the bald eagle. You wouldn't have thought the raccoon as being that, would you? But what they do is they get into the nest and they'll eat the eggs as well as eat the young little eaglets. So the raccoon is truly the #1 predator. If you've never came to one of the eagle programs here at the park, you're missing a great opportunity. Whether it's somebody that's 2 years old or 80 years old, it's just an absolutely very neat, interesting program. We're very lucky. We have wildlife refuges. We have a lot of other wildlife that can be seen as well. On a typical eagle tour, it's not uncommon to see as many as 50 to 75 eagles on this tour. And I've been doing this over 20 years, and there's never been a program that I haven't taken folks out to actually observe a national bird in the wild, which I think that's pretty neat.